Hey guys, before we get into today's video, I just wanted to mention that this whole video is not sponsored or endorsed by either of the brands that I talk about. This is me comparing my new pram versus the pram that I had, which I paid for both of them with my own money. So I hope you enjoy it. If you did, give it a big like, thumbs up, subscribe, whatever. You know what to do. Thanks. Hello guys and welcome back. I'm feeling a little bit what's the word? Greedy, because today I just filmed my very first I'm back vlog and I'm already filming my second one on the same day, but that's because if you watch the first one you will see towards the end I said that my pram was arriving and that if it arrived I would film an unboxing and a review video because we just couldn't find enough of these on this pram. So anyway, we have gone from the Babybee Jive Platinum 3 in the double, so that came with 2 toddler seats and a bassinet, all of the SPF shades, the rain covers, everything that you basically needed. The reason we decided to sell that and buy a new pram was because we had a big baby. So he's 11 weeks old, he weighs just over 6 kilos and he is just over 60 centimeters long. So for an 11-week-old baby, compared to most of the babies he's around, he's a chunker. We had a capsule, so we used the Maxi Cozy Micro Plus capsule when we first had him. That was great, but by about 8 weeks, his shoulder height was already on the second highest notch. So he only had 1 to go, and I thought, well, he's not gonna last long in there. So we need to start getting him adapted to his car seat now so that when the time comes, you know, we're not like rushing around having to give the capsule back because we just can't use it. So we figured let's just try now and see how we go while he's still a little bit smaller. So we ended up getting the Maxi Cozy Euro Plus and he has adapted to it better than we could have imagined. He whinges less. I think he got quite hot in the capsule, especially because he decides to have his temper tantrums when we're driving. Not all the time, but if he's got trapped wind or something, it's not comfortable for them because of the way that they have to sit, so it can get a little bit annoying. But anyway, he's done really well. He loves his car seat. He like puts his arms out to the side and chills, and it's just the cutest thing ever. And because it doesn't have the hood and everything on it, his mirror that goes on the back of the seat so that I can see him through my revision mirror, he loves looking at himself, and especially now that he's playing with his tongue and making noises and stuff, he just loves staring at himself. So it was hilarious. Anyway, so we hired our capsule, so we gave that back. We hired from brand new, so at least now that's basically a new capsule going back into their fleet. I wanted to keep the pram, I wanted to love it. So many people that I know have it, and it was a great pram. It's just that with my wrist issue, this is going to be, you know, 3 to 6 months before this sort of gets better to the point where I don't have to wear my splint and stuff anymore, which I've obviously taken off again now because we didn't see the video that I filmed last night because I lost it, but I take it off at this time once he's gone down to bed. Anyway, so we just thought, you know what, whilst it's still brand new and we've only used the toddler seat a couple of times, we used the bassinet about 3 times, he was just too big for it. We thought, let's just try and sell it now. So we were lucky enough to sell it for the same price as we bought our new pram for. So we've just had about 10 days in between waiting for the new one, which we were lucky enough for Nicole to have lent us a stroller. So that was amazing, but it wasn't the same. He didn't sleep in it. He couldn't see me the whole time. So he was definitely a bit iffy, but it was fine. It was good enough for us to get from A to B. So anyway, we decided to go with the Babybee Duo 2, but we dropped the bassinet and got it straight with 2 toddler seats. Now, based on my genetics and Jacob's genetics and his family, I don't think we would have a small baby if we do have another one. So we figured the amount of times we used the bassinet didn't use the bassinet because we had a capsule is going to be about the same next time. Now, I have 2 friends that have this same pram, which means they both have a bassinet and have both already said that, you know, unless we fall pregnant again at the same time next time, I can hear my baby awake. we could always just use their bassinet. So we figured, well, we may as well get the 2 toddler seats because that's going to be the most important, and then we can buy a bassinet later if we really want to, but for the time frame that you use it, it just wasn't worth it. So anyway, we went with this pram. We haven't even obviously opened it yet, but we had a play with our friends. It is the comparison to the Upper Baby Vista V2. So very similar setup, frame structure, massive basket. It is quite a beefy pram, and when I say that, I mean as in the frame is slightly wider than, say, the Red's Baby. I'm just going to compare it to that because that's a pram that I had. So the wheels are a little bit bigger, a little bit more durable. The frame is a lot sturdier in the sense that it doesn't wobble as much, which I hated about my Red's Baby. The toddler seats aren't super bulky because you got to remember they go from like 6-month-old toddler up to a 3 or 4 year old toddler. So obviously the harness moves up as they go, and the canopy is just there on the Red's Baby. As we're on this one here, the canopy has the ability to come down lower and kind of grow with them. So your pram's not super bulky straight from the start. Now, it is the Duo2, so it is compatible for 2 toddler seats, or a bassinet, a toddler seat, 2 bassinets, capsule, a bassinet. There is about 30 different configurations, which is what I loved. The other thing I loved was the telescopic handle comes right up, and where the adapters clip onto the frame, they're not where the pram folds. So you can leave everything as it is and just fold the pram up, or you can still take the seat off to give yourself more room, whatever. Red's Baby, you had to basically take everything apart if you were using it as a toddler seat facing you. You had to take the seat off, take the adapters off, fold the pram up, put everything back in, and do the same thing every time. You couldn't just grab your frame out, put your seat on. Or you could if it was facing the other way, but he's way too small. So I needed him to be facing me. The adapters that they give you to lift the seat up a little bit, it goes like this much difference. It honestly wasn't breathtaking. So that was a little bit of a letdown. The things that we wanted in a pram, we didn't have. The basket was too small. Once I put my baby bag in there, I had room for a handful of things, and that was about it. Yeah, I just knew that we needed slightly more. So I'm super excited for this. I am going to open the box and probably just time-lapse me getting everything out. Once I've got it basically set up, we'll go through and have a look together. So enjoy. Good afternoon, everyone. So I left my video there abruptly last night because it was getting late. I was super tired. I had a really rough day with Artie yesterday. Like, I don't know how he let me film for that half an hour and was fine. But I also knew that because we were going to be out all day today with the new pram, I thought, well, I may as well use it. Then I can actually give you my honest thoughts, like in the same video. So just have a look at this. So my model is sleeping. We've just got out the car. I just bought him this outfit today, but he poop exploded on me at the shops. So yeah, I had to change him. I did have a spare outfit in the bag, except that what I had, it was probably a little bit too warm. You know, I'm still learning all these things as a mum. I need to keep my bag updated regularly. So anyway, let me show you our new wheels. So again, we went with the Babybee Duo in the grey. I don't really know what they call it, but excuse me, are you okay? Yeah, okay, cool. So this is what it looks like once it's all done up. Oh, he just knows that the camera's on, so he's like, yeah, I'm gonna wake up now. Okay, so Arthur is 11 weeks old today. Happy 11 weeks. Look how chunky you are. So 11 weeks old today. This is obviously the toddler seat. We have got the shoulder straps set on the lower setting. So if you have a look in here, it gives you two little loops. Go in there. Two little loops, and then the strap is sewed onto here. So that would be your tallest toddler setting, and he's on the smallest one. Now, the absolute first thing that I love about this pram compared to my last one is that the excess material, sorry, it's a little bit hard to see with my model here moving around. Anyway, the excess material for the strap is actually sewn right there, you can see, right? So it's sewn together, which means that the bigger you make this strap, you don't have, or the bigger or smaller you make it, you don't have all this excess material, which is awesome, because my last pram, you would make it super small, but you just had like a meter of material hanging out that you had to try and tuck in. Sorry, would you like this? Okay, I know, it's a hard life being a model, isn't it? There you go. I figured this is the only way I could do this with him waking up and being okay. So, absolutely love that. Now, the other thing is the way that this straps do up. So you have like a 5-point harness. Now, this is what I do personally because it works for us, because he's not rolling around or moving too much yet. He's a baby that just lays in here and sleeps. So I tuck the side straps down here for now, and I just use the two top straps. They come down and they clip into this one here. The thing I love about this, I'm just going to straighten him up so I can show you. So I've taken the covers for this strap and the top straps off because he is still a little bit too small and they kind of, I don't know, feel like they smother him. So this clicks straight in. Like, how smooth was that? Amazing. You press this and it clicks straight out. The other pram, same sort of clips, but you had to put it in and then click it back for it to close. That can get a little bit fiddly when you're trying to do your kid up in the pram, you know, as quickly as possible without them moving around. So obviously, are you just doing some gymnastics? Yeah? Okay. So obviously Artie is quite a big baby and he can hold his own. And what I mean when I say that is he can hold his head up already. Let's see your face. Yep. So he's quite strong in his neck and he can hold himself up already, hence why we are already using the toddler seat. So I can click him up one click and he's more than happy to sort of sit there and look around, and it's not high enough so that he's like falling forward. So obviously he's not belted up, so I'm just gonna do this really carefully. But if you see, their first click goes to there. So once his belt and everything is done up, that's enough to hold his shoulders back. I don't have issues with his head falling forward. So we're pretty lucky in that sense. Hello. Let's click you in here just so that you can stay in there. 1 and 2, do you love your new pram? Yeah, you do. Oh, you're just farting for the camera. Okay, good stuff. Joys of being a baby mum. Okay, here we go. Give you this one back. Say hi, camera. So, other than his farting. Yeah, so like I said, absolutely love this whole harness system. Obviously, he's sitting in here crooked because he was just asleep. But anyway, you get the point. This bar is amazing. It just is one click and it folds all the way open. So the only difference with this bar compared to our Red's Baby, though, is that once you click the Red's Baby in, this bar actually bent all the way down and all the way up, so that when you folded the seat in the pram once it was facing the other way, it just squashed it all down. Was obviously just the way that theirs closed, but with this you can leave the seat on facing the way that it is. So that's probably our other favorite thing as well, is it's just super easy up and down. So to put it into perspective, normally we go out with the pram in the toddler seat and Arthur would stay in his seat. He would have, I don't know, he would nap, but he would wake up a lot more frequently. Now, as I said yesterday, we are mid-leap 2 and it has been so hard. We have a good baby. I get that. I constantly get told how lucky I am. I don't think that that has anything to do with it. So we went out this morning. We left home just after 10. We drove for 20 minutes to the shops. He fell asleep on the way there. I got him, so I put him in the pram this morning before we went out, just while I was getting ready. So he was in the bathroom with me, chilling in his pram, you know, just to sort of make sure that he wasn't gonna, I don't know, not like it. Not that you would know, but anyway, I just thought it would be good to give him some time in it before we went out. So we did that. We drove to the shops. He fell asleep in the car. We got to the shops. I got the pram out, set everything up. I do that, I always do that, so that the last thing I do is get him out and get him in there so that I can just give him my attention. Put him in there. He was like, kind of fell back asleep, was kind of awake until I got to where my friend was, said hello, started walking, he fell straight back to sleep. So he was maybe awake for 5 or 10 minutes. He then slept until his next feed with a bum change. So I changed his bum at one stage and put him back in there. He went straight back to sleep. So he slept for about 2.5 hours and then woke up for a feed right when he should have. So that was amazing, because as I was saying in my video last night, which was my I'm back on YouTube video, this leap has been kicking my ass, and he has been napping for half an hour at the absolute most, 6 or 7 times a day, and that's it. He would not go to bed last night. Jacob tried his hardest. He finally went down at about 9:30, and I knew he was going to wait for a feed at about midnight. So that was frustrating. He was up and down all night. So I didn't know how today was going to go, but I hoped that by the time I got home and I could film this part of the video, we would have had a good day, and we did. Because he fed, he stayed awake for his normal wake window, which was about 1.5 hours. He fell back asleep in the pram, transferred into the car, straight back to sleep, and he's just sort of waking up now, which is when he should have. So he might resettle for a bit and nap until his next bottle. So safe to say, as far as comfort level goes, he loves it, because he would not sleep in the stroller. Okay, so to make it easier, I made a list last night whilst I was building this of all the things I noticed so far that were much better of an improvement. So first thing was the straps and the harness, which I showed you. The telescopic handle. So basically, you can see this. I'll do it on the side. So it has a click button here, and it's like one-handed if you put the brake on. So straight up and down like this, so much easier. So with my other pram, you had to use both hands on both sides and like pull the triggers up and try and slide the thing up yourself, which obviously with this hand being not great, I couldn't do it. And when I could do it, it just kept getting stuck. It just didn't move smoothly, which was super annoying. So that is heaps easier. The other thing is the coffee holder. So pretty much this here does not move. So it has like a twist to tighten, and it looks like this. So it's just like, it is made to go on the handlebars. So you can put that on there slightly near the top so that at least if you still need to make this taller and longer, you're not going to be hitting the cup. So you tighten that on there, make sure your cup holder is facing up straight, tighten that on, and then that's it. It doesn't move. On the Red's Baby, you had to just basically like push it in and click it down, but the whole thing swayed and moved the whole time. So the amount of times I would accidentally bump it and not realize that my coffee was basically tipping down towards the floor. My water bottle would fall out. So this is just super sturdy. I love it. It's my hand sanitizer. So that's also one of my favorite things. What else have we got? This isn't included. You have to buy this extra, which is $29, I think it was. With the Red's Baby, it came with it, but for the price that you paid for the whole thing up anyway, it was still cheaper with this. Pram liner, well, I use my one from Wonderland for Children. So this is universal anyway. It does come with two. So they look like this. They're shaped for the seat, so obviously it all like folds in together. Super soft. I will still wash this and put it away so I can use it as a spare, because you just never know with babies what's going to happen. These are the harness covers and the belt buckle covers that it comes with. So obviously you can see I've lost my model as well because he was tired and went to sleep. So what else do we have? Pram liner, tilting the seat up and down. So if you can see, it has this back, this button here, there's one on the other side. You click them and you tilt it. It is so smooth and so easy. Yes, you have to use two hands compared to the Red's Baby where they just have like a clip down here that you pull with one hand and you push it up and push it down. But this is easy enough that you just click it, and even when you're standing next to it or in front of it, you can kind of just push on the bar anyway. So it goes completely flat, up one click, up another click. So perfect for little babies up until your toddler. Again, the seat stays on when you fold the pram. I wonder if I can show you from here actually, because it does it one way or another. Yeah, so it stays on whilst you fold the pram, and then you just have a little latch on this side here that clips on once you're obviously laying it down so that it's flatter. But that was the whole main reason why I wanted a pram like this, was so that I could fold it and the seat would stay on. You do have the option once you slide it into the car to quickly click the seat off and flop it the other way, just so it sits flatter in your boot. But if you've got the space, then it doesn't really matter. Hood. So it is a bit clicky in the sense, you'll see what I mean. So it's not a smooth open and shut, but it's so sturdy and so rigid. I actually prefer this better. And I opened it and closed it heaps of times today and it didn't seem to have bothered Arthur. So I think it'll be heaps better. It also has this little extra bit here, which sort of just covers it when they're laying completely flat. Obviously, if they are sitting up just that little bit, one click, it's even more covered. So heaps better. Obviously this bit here is zipped open, so if you were to click, I haven't tried to close this yet, there you go. So zip that shut, that is how much it closes. Then you've got this here is that little bit of extra sun protection. Now, the part I haven't looked at yet, the SPF shade. So that apparently comes out of the footrest, and this, I presume, has little elastic loops like this on both corners. So I'm going to assume must go under this little loop here, which is the clip that your hood stays on with. Yep, and then this would come down under the footrest. So then Bub is pretty much completely enclosed, because even this is just all mesh. So nothing can get in, they have heaps of airflow. It's actually a really cool concept, because on the Red's Baby, it actually zipped in under the hood and you pulled it down and it elasticed around the footrest as well. But the whole side was open rather than being mesh. So they weren't actually covered the whole time. So super light, super easy. Fold it back up into a little ball. Shove it back into here. And zipping back up. That's actually a really cool place to have it because with mine on the Red's Baby, like I said, it was zipped in under here and it had like a metal bendy bit like with like the shade attached to that and then it elasticed down here. So you would just unelastic it. And I used to like flip it inside out so I could roll it over the hood because otherwise you just try and sort of squish it in like this, but it just kept falling in his face. So that was annoying because to have to zip it up and unzip it every time was such a pain in the bum. As where that, take it out of there, click it on, you can just pull it over and back, you know, or even shove it in your little holder up here. Easy access that way. So loving all of those. What else before I show you underneath? Oh yeah, I guess I'll show you here. So it comes with this beautiful handlebar bag, super wide attachments on both sides, a little, I don't know, slot pocket here. You could probably put your phone if it was small, but it has like a metal ring around the top. So it's actually not super flimsy. It's quite rigid, which is awesome. Artie is very spoiled. He has a little fan for when it gets hot. So $10 from Baby Bunting, amazing. I'm just gonna put that there. So I don't really have much in here at the moment. Some receipts from today. I love these massive carabiners because like today, I'm gonna show you what I put in the pram, but one of the bags was super light. So I just hung it from the handlebar here and it was awesome. It has a little cup holder slot, which is probably skinny enough to fit, I don't know, maybe a coffee cup, but it probably wouldn't slide the whole way in, maybe a baby bottle. There's another little slot pocket on the inside. I have some lip balm in there. And then this bit sort of just flops over. And even this is quite rigid as well, which is awesome. And that just magnet shuts on there. Yeah, I thought that this would be super annoying because obviously the coffee cup holder stops it from sliding down there, but this side can do that. It didn't annoy me. I didn't even notice it moving today. So I think as long as you've got it on nice and tight, it's fine. Yeah, I think that's about it as far as my favorite features and stuff go. So harnesses, the way that they don't have all the excess material, the crush bar, I don't know what they call it, how it just clicks open and moves straight out of your way, which is awesome. Cup holder, how it doesn't move is such a lifesaver. The hood, the SPF shade, the extra unzippy bit. You also have like the little peephole at the top as well. So once it is open, you can peek on your baby. What else? Okay, I think that's it up the top. So I'm gonna grab my camera and I'm gonna show you underneath and what I put in it. Okay, so the basket is massive. Like I can't even explain how big this thing is. So it's the whole length of the pram at the bottom and the whole width and comes right up the sides. So you wouldn't want to obviously overload it too much because this mesh part here probably isn't super heavy duty. So if you were to put sharp things too often, you'd probably break through that. But it is, oh, you can take it off. So there's obviously like little Velcro bits under there so that you can remove it if you wanted to wash it, I guess. The bumper bar has this rubber thing on it because I think the old models, this used to get really scratched. I scratched it last night when I was opening it with the scissors, so love that for me. Anyway, so that is the pram in its entirety. And like I said, this basket is massive. So I'm going to take you to my kitchen and I'm going to show you exactly what I had in there. So everything that you can see here, I had in the bottom of that pram, except for this bag. This is the one that I hung off the handlebars. So I had my full baby bag. This is like a cotton on tote. This was quite full and quite heavy. Bye. This one just has like extra groceries and stuff in it. That was quite heavy as well. I had this toy that I bought from Kmart for a friend, some wrapping paper. Like that's a lot of stuff if you think about it in the scheme of things. Now, all I would have fit in my Red's Baby was this and maybe this bag shoved in front of it and maybe this down the side, but it would have probably fallen out. So that is a lot of things, plus the baby, plus, yeah, all of that stuff, plus the baby in the pram. And even then, at its absolute fullest and heaviest, it was still super, super smooth, but you could tell that there was a little bit of wobble because it was obviously getting a little bit overworked. But you wouldn't be doing that all of the time. That is like, I pushed it to its limits today because I have been stuck at home for a week. So I was waiting to go out and do what I needed to do. If you haven't noticed, he also let me get my eyebrows done. And it is amazing how just having your eyebrows done makes you feel so amazing. It's the first time since he's been born. So thanks for that, Artie. So anything else? So, okay, what do you get in the box? So you get the frame. Now, in the intro, I'm pretty sure I said about the fact that I got 2 toddler seats and not the bassinet, because that's what's gonna work for us. So in the box, you had the pram frame, the wheels, the 2 toddler seats, the crossbars, the handbag, the coffee cup holder, the rain covers, all the adapters that you need for all of the configurations except a capsule, but they're about $30 to buy later. So when you turn it into a double, they connect onto here. So those other adapters slide onto there, and then that obviously pushes back and raises up whatever you're going to put down here, whether it's the second seat. If you put the second seat on the bottom going this way, you can't recline it, so you need to flip it around so that you can recline it into towards the basket, and even then you still have room for at least your baby bag. So overall, I spent, including shipping, 1,004 Australian dollars, and I got everything I needed, including the coffee cup holder, because like I said, that was the total price I paid for everything. I love it so much. I'm honestly so, so happy. So I believe this pram, this specific pram is a direct comparison to the Upper Baby Vista V2, which I saw today in real life, and it is a beautiful pram. There is a couple of little differences, like the rear axle bar on this pram is at the back, so if you have quite a long stride, and you're gonna find that with most prams, you will kick your toes every now and again. The brake is one touch, is much easier now, as when on my Red's Baby, you had to like click it over, then try and flick it back up with your toes, and it always hurts so much. Jake's just got home, so I can hear him trying to settle hard. It's almost bath time. Anyway, that's fine. Yeah, so little things like that. The Vista V2 has like the push button for the brake, so you push it to turn it on, push it to turn it off. When I do go and catch up with Mel at her house, I will take my pram as well and do a direct comparison video, because there isn't one on YouTube, and this pram looks almost identical to that. So half the price. You are obviously going to get your quality differences. So with this, there is still a bit of jiggle. There is like little things where, and this is just me being a picky, fussy person, but I wouldn't not buy this pram because of it. So I'll show you. So little things like this obviously clips on, and there's a little bit of movement in there. There's a little bit of movement in the seat, which is fine because that actually stops you know, like hard movements getting to your baby and waking them up, so they kind of just like get the normal movement. But again, it's just the way that it's attached, and that was the same. My bassinet on the Red's Baby did the same. You can hear him really arcing up. So yeah, there really isn't a lot of massive differences in quality that I've noticed, but I'm sure it's probably just the way that everything is obviously manufactured. Yeah, super, super happy with my decision, and I hope that this video helps someone that wants to buy it. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'm gonna go and rescue my husband and see if we can do bath time so that he'll go down for a bottle. But yeah, other than that, I don't know what my next video will be, but whatever it is, I'll see you then.